Devon,
Hi, Todd. How are you?
good. Todd Runstead here from Next USA,
Devon Golem from Step Change Innovations.
and we
We
are
are
the
the Nutraceutical.
Nutraceuticals.
That's our best
Emily,
yet.
I'm I'm a little stressed out right now, Devon. How
Is it
what do
because of
what
me?
do
Am
what
I
do we take?
stressing you out?
More important, what do we take and how much? Because I want to know efficacious doses of clinically validated ingredients to help with relaxation because I'm so freaking stressed out.
Okay. Let's take a breath.
That's a good first step.
We've
Breathe,
got this.
water.
We've got this. Yes. There are all sorts of fun ingredients out there to help with relaxation. And
There is.
since we
It's
mentioned mental health a little bit on the last episode, we thought this would be a good next topic.
yeah. Yeah, it's stress is it's obviously a thing. We live by it, there's the classic fight, flight, freeze or the other word that starts with F.
Oh,
Um
oh, fuck. Am
yeah,
I allowed to say that on our podcast?
yes, we can. Well,
Okay.
those are the four things when you get distressed, and when the saber-toothed tiger comes at you, it's one of those four things. And
Yeah,
of
that's,
note, just a Colorado boy that I am, one of the lessons is when you're camping with friends and a bear comes after you, you don't have to actually outrun the bear.
you just have to outrun one of your friends.
That's exactly right.
Yes. Sorry. Bad dad joke, I know.
No, it's fine. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. And yeah, yeah, stress has been a thing. It kind of what powers us, stress and the world's favorite drug, which is the alkaloid known as caffeine.
Oh,
That is in
yeah.
coffee, and
I don't know that that helps with stress. That might exacerbate it in some people.
probably I actually don't even do caffeine. I'm like a water guy. Um, you
I have a
know,
little bit in the morning. I just have one though, because if I have two, I'm up all night.
right,
Very strange.
right. Yeah, recently I was kind of that post-lunch laziness. It was late in the afternoon, and I was like, I saw an energy drink, and I thought, let me just take that. And then when I wanted to get to sleep that night, I was like, no, that's not happening. And then it's like midnight, and I'm like, oh God, stop. So
Yeah,
naps are our
I
friend.
feel you.
Just run, just go with it. Listen to your body. You know. So, but yeah, when you're stressed out, breathe, drink water. A little meditation for a little bit,
A
maybe a
little
nap or something like
mindfulness.
yeah, mindfulness. And then you work your way all the way to the frontal lobotomy. But before that, you can put a bottle in front of me, and then before that, there's supplements, right?
Yes.
So
That's probably the better bottle to put in front of you is the
that's right.
supplement bottle. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, so let's talk about some of there's a lot of things that are out there. I think it really got a great start when adaptogens finally came on board. The adaptogens, I think it was rhodiola that first made a name for themselves. This was decades ago when the Soviet Olympic team, they were using it to great effect. And then, it was discovered,
Hmm.
oh yeah, and now, there's the H's, Shizandra, ashwagandha, rhodiola. Um, uh,
H, the H's.
yeah, there's another one out there. But so let's just start with ashwagandha because that is booming and it has been for a number of years. I remember like all this research was coming up right after the turn of the century, like 2005 and stuff. And then it came and then it went and it never really caught on. And I was like, huh, all right. I thought those were cool. I was writing about it. And, but then all of a sudden, like a decade later, it explodes. And then, you know, they're everywhere, all the things. So, I know you've done some work with ashwagandha. So what can you tell us about
I
that?
have. So we have discussed ashwagandha before on this podcast, and of course, KSM 66 is the most widely known one. But they have done a lot of research, starting out looking at 300 milligrams twice a day, but they've also done research on 125 milligrams twice a day to help with mood and sleep. So, which kind of go hand in hand. At least I know my emotions and my state of stress or relaxation is way off if I have not slept well. So, I think those two kind of go hand in hand.
For sure. Yeah, I always liked the KSM research. It was sort of like the physical and the mental, sort of performance things, so stress and also performance. And yeah, I mean that to great effect. I think they're in like 4,000 brands,
Yeah.
or 4,000 SKUs. They're all over the place there.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, and so with that one aspect of ashwagandha, with the stress and I suppose mood, maybe you could say sleep, right?
Hmm.
I don't know, it's not the classic sleep thing, like
No,
melatonin.
no.
I yeah, I was gonna take a tangent onto melatonin, but let's not go there. Uh,
We'll save sleep specific sleep stuff for another day because
yeah,
that could be a whole episode in itself.
yeah,
Maybe next episode.
yeah, yeah. So I think that's interesting that they KSM and Sensoril from Natreon, which I think might be a Kerry product
It's
now.
under carry now. Yep.
Yeah, so Sensoril, and that was less because they concentrated the withanolides, so that they were like 250 or maybe 125 versus the 600,
Hmm.
a day. So interesting to see that KSM has done research on a lower dose, and the KSM was just the traditional roots, and the Sensoril was roots and branches, I think, roots and leaves, roots and aerial parts. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
Sensorils root and leaf.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So interesting stuff with ashwagandha does a lot of really great things. It's the king of Ayurveda. Shatavari is the queen. That's coming on, but that doesn't have anything to do with this stress or relax sort of thing. But let's talk about you know what I'm really wild about? I'm just wild.
Wild about saffron. Saffron's mad about me. I didn't know I was going to end up singing on this podcast. That's kind of dangerous.
Right? Yeah.
You've seen me singing. It ain't good.
Come on, you can rap. You can hip hop. I've seen it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I might have to release that little video for your birthday later this year. We will see.
Yeah, 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 coming right up. That's funny. So talk about saffron because it's a super expensive ingredient, and
It
then
is. It
there
is. Oh,
branded ingredients are out there too. I'm sure there's a price point behind that, but what about
yeah, no, it is the most expensive herb or spice that's out there for sure, but it also has an incredibly low usage level. It's usually about 30 milligrams per day for all of them. There's Afron's probably the most widely known one that's made by Farm Active, but Gencor distributes it in the States.
okay.
There's one called Safserine from CK Ingredients, and there's one called Safractive, and I am blanking on the company that makes that, but I think that is out of Europe, if I remember right. So, but they're all about 28 milligrams once a day or 14 milligrams twice a day.
Oh, low dose. So you could put that in formulations then, right?
Easily,
Yeah.
easily, yes. And there's usually no question of its safety. I mean, there have been safety studies done, but saffron's been used in cooking forever. And if we're concentrating in like the active in an ingredient, and say you needed like 10, you needed to eat 10 pounds of that spice to get enough active, then you
Right.
probably should do some safety studies specifically on that. But
Right.
30 milligrams of saffron, that's fine. Yeah.
When you talk about milligrams, I saffron might be more expensive than gold.
Yeah.
Although gold has been spiking since the tariffs and all that stuff, all the economic upheaval. That
Yeah. You're talking, I
uh,
think, upwards of more than 2,000 a kilo for some of these extracts. I don't know exactly because I try to stay in my science lane and
yeah,
not in the
yeah, yeah.
finance lane, but
Me
they're
too.
pricey. But, you
Right.
know,
So, but that's less because isn't gold? I don't know. I don't even know what it's up to these days. It's like $2,000, and I think that's an ounce. Do they measure it by the ounce? Is that how?
yeah, don't ask me about stuff like that.
Yeah, right. Think about.
I'm a
Gold
scientist, not a trader
is so
or
weird.
geologist.
It's metal and it is kind of malleable, and all of a sudden we've just decided, oh, it has value. But like, for what? Earrings? I don't know. We've
I'm more of a silver girl myself, but yeah,
Yeah, right. All right.
yeah.
Next.
or silver colored. I think my wedding ring's
Well,
technically
so
platinum. I don't remember. That's kind of
so
bad.
Afron, there are studies, and then
Lots of
what
them.
I think is interesting is they market like this new thing that started a couple of years ago is mood, and so it's great because it's sort of like it's it's sort of nebulous. So you're not really going to get hit by the FDA with the warning letter for
Yeah.
making a drug disease claim about mood. And it really resurrected the fortunes of St. John's wort, which was, back in the 90s, it was huge for mild to moderate depression. And then there was that one infamous study where they compared it to the leading pharmaceutical, and it was a null study. Neither worked. Oh, and it was for major depression. And so all the headlines were, oh, St. John's wort, the hit hot herb, it doesn't work for depression. And the sales collapsed after that. And it was like, excuse me, that was major depression, and the drug didn't work either. So you got to question the study. But if you're a pharmaceutical, you killed that thing off.
Yeah.
Uh, and that just gives me a little anxiety, a little professional anxiety. What the hell? Um,
Well, let's get that under wraps, Todd.
right,
Saffron will
right,
help.
right. Yeah, what really would help me with chilling out and calming down. It's this one great herb that Mary Bove, the late great Mary Bove, she recently passed away. She was the chief herbalist at Gaia Herbs. I toured their herb farm in Western North Carolina back, almost a decade ago.
Wow.
And uh, holy basil. Holy
Okay.
Basil
Yep.
and Mary, I never forgot this. Mary, Holy Basil, she said, it's walking meditation in a bottle. Love that. That, like, whenever anyone brings up Holy Basil, I'm like, oh yeah, walking meditation in a bottle, and it's
Nice ring to it.
traditionally it was used for spiritual protection, and it was grown in temples and homes for purity and sanctity, and it was aids in the release of deep-seated emotions and grief and sadness. So it was kind of that. And now today we talk about the HPA axis, the what is it, the I think the P is pituitary axis, hypo.
Hypothalamus.
Yeah, it restores endocrine balance is what it does. So it reduces stress-induced hypertension. It relieves anxiety, enhances dopamine and serotonin production.
Yeah.
Serotonin is the happiness molecule. Um,
Hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. I had to look that one up,
oh,
and I'm just saying that because I'm a human being and I don't even know all these
well, I,
acronyms.
I got the P right anyway on that one.
Yes, you did. And I
Yeah.
got the H right. So,
There
all
we go.
right, I'm going to give,
Him. What?
yes.
Team. So what is it? Relax PLX by Swan Nutra, right? That
Yes, that's a
that's
lemon verbena extract. They had a study that came out recently in adolescents. My friend Corinne, she's out there. Hi,
yeah.
Corinne. She works for them, and she was very passionate about that because she has teenage daughters. Anyone that has teenage daughters
Yeah.
probably could use something for relaxation for themselves and their daughters. But it showed that it helped with sleep and mood there too. So,
Yeah, it's interesting. Just to go with the shameless self-promotion, we have at Next we have this ingredient digoxin, which works on the gut-brain axis, and it has ashwagandha as one of its ingredients. It's this herbal combination, and so I think it's the ashwagandha in it that raises serotonin, lowers cortisol, which is the stress hormone,
hormone. Yep.
and so we call it a relaxative because it also works on the gut, and it kind of it increases transit time, so kind of healthy daily regularity. But gut brain bidirectional feedback loop, and so it's not a laxative. Those things you take acutely, you know. You can't do it every day, but this nice little herbal combination that we developed,
No, I
and
like relaxative.
yeah,
That's
it's not a
clever.
laxative, it's a relaxative.
Yeah.
So
You bring up such a good point though, because I don't know that a lot of people realize about 80 to 90% of our serotonin is actually in our gut. And the
right.
rest of it's in the brain. So there is a lot that we can do within our gut to affect our brain health. The gut-brain axis is very real.
Yeah, and it's wild. So as we know about the gut brain or just the gut is you know classic traditional probiotics. It was gut health and immunity, right?
Yep.
And like, well, what does immunity have to do with gut health? And it's because
70% of your immune system is in the gut in the form of gut-associated lymphoid tissue or GALT. You can tell I have said that a lot.
right,
Yes.
got me on that one.
Plus,
Golf,
my husband's a GI doctor, so I'm going to
is that
give a
right?
shout out to my husband. I love you, Pete.
That's nice. You know what? So I'm going to shout out to my wife because today is our 2-year anniversary. I know this is going to
Yes.
air a little bit later, but
Yeah,
June
that's all right.
26th. And
It's your anniversary. It's a song by Tony. I'm showing my age here.
go. So no,
I
but
don't
here's
know all the lyrics to that one. Sorry.
I have a new thought that this might be late breaking news here. You heard it here first. So we have that the gut is the home for immunity,
Yep.
and we have that the gut is home for serotonin. So that's like mood, right? Happiness, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
What if the gut, because I'm talking to my wife and my anniversary, you see where I'm going with this? What if the gut is also the home of love? It's not the heart, it's the gut. Maybe. I see that look on your face. Still,
Jen, I'm
you know,
sorry.
when people
Jen,
first
I
started
haven't
saying
even met you yet.
they weren't
But
believing that either. When they were saying mood is in the gut too, they weren't believing that either. Love.
I mean, they do say don't they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach? I don't think that works with women. I don't know.
Just say, when I wake up in the morning, there's the first 3 things that bring a smile to my face. One, I turn over, I look at my wife, and there she is, and that makes me happy. 2, my
Oh,
dog is sitting usually at the foot of the bed, and that makes me happy. And then 3, I go to the bathroom and I have my morning constitutional, and God, does that make me happy? That can just make or break your day, and so
Todd,
I don't know,
I'm
love,
gonna. I am going
love
to.
is in the gut.
I am going to surprise you with a dad joke. I actually went and looked up some stuff for this, so you will enjoy this. This is actually so appropriate for what you just said.
Oh yeah, oh good.
I think there's 4 important things in life. Compassion for self and others,
Good.
recognizing that others have difficulties in life just like you and you have to treat them as you treat yourself.
Right.
Allowing and accepting things to be as they are in this present moment,
Sure.
and peace of mind is the highest happiness. Or you can just remember the acronym CRAP.
See? Oh my God.
So maybe love is in the gut.
I'm gonna have my little crap sitting right here on my shoulder.
Oh, that's great. We need to interview Perry on a future episode.
That's right. Yeah, because that is from Di Jackson.
Yeah, because my whole life, all I've ever wanted to do is interview blue shit.
Ever since Yellow Submarine, it's not far from Yellow Submarine to Blue Poo. It's just a step away, and that's all.
We
Yeah,
all live in a yellow
so
submarine.
what are we talking about? I guess we're
Back,
talking about lemon verbena, and I think that's like 400 milligrams.
yes,
There are
yes,
studies in there
yes.
around stress and sleep quality too, because again, sleep has a lot to do with how you're gonna just be in the morning. Right?
And I know the one on youths was recently, but they do have another study out too. So they've done a couple studies showing that there's benefit because repeatability, as we talked about a couple podcasts ago, that's kind of important.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. Should we get into the big one? The big one that is used today for relaxation. I mean, all the things that we've talked about, ashwagandha and saffron and lemon verbena and melissa, right?
I
Um,
have been hanging around with you too long because my
the big
brain
one.
went on another.
That- You thought that was big, ladies and gentlemen. There's a
Nah, I was thinking about something else, but I think you're talking about L-theanine.
L-theanine. That's right. That's right. God, the studies were coming out, I don't know, years ago, a decade ago, and it was 200 milligrams. It was probably about 10 years ago. Um, 200 milligrams. L-theanine is the amino acid in green tea that makes you relaxed without feeling drowsy. So
Yes.
pretty cool if you can do that. Um, and God, I remember it it was Expo East. I guess that was 2 years ago because Expo East went away and now it's Newtopia in Denver in August. But so
Mhm.
it was the last one there, and everywhere was mood, and I was looking at the labels, supplement facts panels, and L-theanine, L-theanine,
Mhm.
L-theanine was everywhere. I was like, holy crap! But yeah, and so it's used a lot in those stress and also comprehensive sleep formulas, so you can
Yes.
use that to kind of like chill you out. It doesn't make you drowsy, but at least it chills you out
Yep.
and
I
gets you to
formulated it in sleep
yeah,
formulas before.
yeah.
Yep.
And it seems like most sleep formulas were using melatonin as one of the foundational ingredients. And again, let's not go into sleep right
We'll
now.
talk about that later.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about on that. But yeah, L-theanine, I think that's really a great ingredient, right?
Yes, and it can go into gummies, which is really good because we see gummies being such a hot format right now, and not everything goes into gummies very well. Oh my goodness. You're just,
Take my vitamin C.
okay,
No.
that gummy. Yes. Never know. It could be some other gummy with you.
Yeah. No. This one brought to you by Herbaland. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's good. Yeah. 300 milligrams too. Like it. Um,
L-theanine is a very versatile ingredient for sure.
yeah. And there's a couple more I think on our list, and one which I think is really cool, and I think it's kind of getting more popular, and it's another one of these letter things, and it's GABA.
Gamma
And
aminobutyric acid.
oh my God, the PhD is coming in handy,
Thank
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna double check that one. I actually was trying to practice that today because
Is that
you
right?
hear everyone call it
Yeah.
GABA and
Gamma
not
aminobutyric acid, something
butyric.
butyric acid. Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes,
right.
gamma aminobutyric acid. Yep, I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
I should not
So
doubt
let's
myself.
call it GABA. And so GABA is it's a neurotransmitter, and it's one of those like brain chemicals. But a lot of things excite you, get you up and going, including just like the stress of life. And GABA is
That was
like,
episode 3.
yeah, right. Or back at home, but GABA's like the brakes.
Yes.
It's like the neurotransmitter brakes, and so instead of speeding up, it sort of chills you out. I know Verb Biotics, they have this really cool biotic that they've developed that it's not GABA per se,
It's a
that
probiotic.
protein gets into. Yeah, but it's
Yep.
a probiotic that they developed, and I toured their facilities there in Raleigh, Durham. Super cool. They're doing really
Nice.
cutting edge research. Celestia, are you out there? Todd Beckman, Noah, and what it does is it gets the body to produce an endogenous GABA on its
Hmm.
own. So it kind of gives you what you need, which I think is so cool, because it's not just like, oh yeah, I'm going to take whatever's in this supplement and who knows what the dose is, and we could talk about the dose, but when you talk about this GABA probiotic, I think it's a probiotic.
It is a probiotic.
Yes.
Yep. I mean, it's working with it's your body to help yourself, and they also are promoting it for women's health and just helping because perimenopause here, my sleep is wrecked. So they're really promoting it as a way to help women with relaxation and sleep, especially as they're going through all that fun stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. And
Verb deserves that shout out.
they
Thank you
do.
for studying women.
Super cool company doing really great sort of like benefit first work and
Yes.
and developing new compounds through AI and machine learning and stuff like that. Like really kind of high tech.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I love that GABA probiotic. It kind of reminds me of in terms of it getting the body to produce what it needs in order to bring about homeostasis, like balance you out. So cool. it's kind of like that with collagen. The collagen peptides, it's not like the way collagen works. It isn't like, oh, it dumps collagen into your body and it does it. But the peptides are little pieces of the amino acids, which is part of the protein, right? So collagen was always like a cheap protein.
Yeah,
But
but peptides are short chains of amino
right,
acids,
right.
just like
And
a
so
couple of them.
so you take it into your body and your body says, "Oh my God, all of our collagen protein is breaking down and disintegrating into small pieces. We need to produce more collagen in order to, make up for this problem that we're having of collagen breakdown, protein breakdown." So it's like it kind of tricks the body, you know. And so I think that's really interesting. And so that verb biotic is kind of a similar mechanism of it just gets the body to produce more on its own.
Yeah, we should
So
talk about peptides at some point because a lot of hormones are basically peptides.
yeah,
So,
and then there's all like these new peptides that are out there, these triglyceride. I just got this in um, kind of a super hip and trendy Chip Marsland. He's developed some of these peptides. I see peptides that's on my feed all the time, and I was like, I don't. It didn't. Let's not get into it. But it's a really interesting thing. We'll get into it some other time. But
mhm.
and I love how we kind of get on these. I got a mouse in my pocket. How I'm getting on these tangents about
I don't help much. I'm an
yeah.
enabler.
Right. Right. Yeah. So anyway, so GABA, I think that's a really cool sort of um, anti-stress, if you will. Relax. I don't want to say relaxative because that's digoxin is the relaxative. TM. But not a laxative, but a relaxative. See, look, my day job is still spinning around in my head.
I
Um,
can see that.
yeah.
That's
Right.
all right. I'm wearing my pretend gangster outfit from making a video that by the time this airs, it probably will have been on Step Change's LinkedIn page.
Oh
So,
my God.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you should put that little video in promoting of this episode of the Dose Ingredient Podcast, so that people
Or I
can.
have that other one that I made. Yeah, I need to put that out at some
Yeah,
point.
you
Do I have
got
the ball?
skills, girl.
Do I have the balls to put that one out though? Me writing a rap about us? I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Hey,
Thank you.
so the last one I think we should talk about is almost like it's almost the first one because there was this company out of Austin, Texas, that would sell this supplement powder, and it was called Calm, Natural
Yes.
Vitality Calm. It ended up selling. There was this one holding company that bought three um, major companies. It was Natural Vitality, Rainbow Light out of
Yep.
Santa Cruz, and Neocell, another California company. Jess Mulligan, Shani, yeah, and so three great companies, and they packaged it together, and then they sold it to Clorox, and so now Clorox has those, so big, huge multinational,
Yeah.
and
Clorox, I think they own KC Masterpiece and Hidden Valley Ranch too. They own, it's very strange the stuff that they have.
right, right, right. On the one hand, it's like, yeah, like ain't that America? It's like things get acquired. But when it comes from like Clorox, and when you like, I know when I think Clorox, there's one word that comes to mind. How about
Bleach.
bleach? Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. And so I'm like, well, what bleach and supplements? But it's like, I
Yeah.
bet Clorox has 1,000 different, brands under its umbrella, and that's just the way it is. And so you can't
Yeah.
just make bleach all. But anyway, so natural vitality. It was all about
They were collagen, weren't they?
no.
Oh, that was the magnesium. Sorry. I used all my brain power on the last episode to know that the Gators are the mascot for Florida.
That's right.
So,
Yeah. Well, see, and that was a good one. You nailed that. Yeah. No. This is the master mineral that has
yes,
overtaken
magnesium.
calcium as the number one mineral, and we are talking.
Magnesium.
That's right.
Yes.
Magnesium. So yeah, like I remember calcium was the billion-dollar ingredient, and I don't know if it's just stayed flat or if it's fallen, but magnesium has overtaken it by a country mile, and part of that is because magnesium does a lot of things. You know, you talk to people, and I hear 300, I hear 700, cofactor for different body things, but one of the things it does is it relaxes the muscles. So that's why I
Hmm.
order calcium. Calcium kind of tightens you up and magnesium
That's
chills
why
you
they
out.
give you, when you have preeclampsia at the hospital or when you're in labor, like I was, they give you a magnesium sulfate drip and you have to stay in bed because it relaxes your muscles so much they can't trust you to walk around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, it used to be a 2-to-1 calcium to magnesium ratio, but everyone gets calcium because like just it's in dairy
dairy.
products and stuff like
Yeah.
that, cheese and milk and whatnot. But everybody is shy in magnesium, and I had always been saying 400 milligrams is really what you need to get you through the night. But there was a study that just came out this week, and it had cognitive benefits for magnesium, and it starts at 550 milligrams. So I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. You
I
have to
just,
up my dosage.
I will caution for anyone who has GI issues out there, just be careful not to take too much magnesium because it will cause osmotic diarrhea. Like I think magnesium is one of the things that they put in your colon prep for
Yeah.
colonoscopies.
And
So,
milk of magnesia,
yes, I mean magnesium is important for sure. Just it is one that you can overdo. So,
Right. Well, and same for that matter with vitamin C. You could if you take too much vitamin C, you'll get the runs. But usually that's like grams worth. Uh,
yeah, I've never hit that hard. It is interesting though. So of course we've talked about GLP-1s and I use a glucose monitor and it warns me like every time I start a new sensor on my arm, don't take more than 500 milligrams of vitamin C a day because it could artificially elevate glucose levels according to the sensor.
huh.
So interesting factoid to put out there in the
Right.
universe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that, because
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm concerned about, blood sugar issues, because I do have a sweet tooth. I like to take just one spoonful of ice cream after dinner, and I'm usually pretty good about that,
One spoonful is fine.
right? We went out to dinner last night, and I ordered the ice cream first. They were taking drinks, and I was like, I'll take a strawberry ice cream, and I shared it with my dog, and spoon for me,
Oh.
spoon for her. And yeah, so I kind of went a little overboard with that, and then it started raining, and so we came home, and so I
So
didn't get
you
to walk it off. I didn't keep my blood sugar in check last night,
that's
so I'm
okay.
always concerned about that. But I like to I like my vitamin C too, so I'm gonna watch that now. Look, I'm learning something every day.
But you said you try to do 300 milligrams, right? Not
No,
500.
no, 500, and I like to do
Oh,
500. Like to get a
no,
steady state in you, you want to take like 500 milligrams like every few hours, and then that's there. I used to have this book. I got rid of most of
no.
the books. Um,
Well, I wouldn't worry about it because I don't know if the mechanism I don't know that it actually raises your blood sugar or if it just makes the sensor think that you did. I don't know what the mechanism is behind that, but I will find out and let you know.
okay,
But there's a lot of things out there that can artificially increase your blood sugar, like steroids, I think, do that sometimes too. So it
yeah,
happens.
candy,
So,
ice cream.
well, that genuinely is your blood sugar. There's a little bit of a difference there. But the sensors are a little different too, because the sensors, see, I go off on tangents too. The sensors actually measure the glucose that's in your interstitial fluid, like between cells. So it's not actually measuring your from the blood. It's
Right.
just measuring the interstitial fluid.
Oh, dark matter.
And it comes up later than your blood sugar. So like if your blood sugar increases, it's a little bit delayed on the sensor. So
Hmm.
just fun factoids. You could try, they're available over the counter now. So if you're really that concerned, you could go get one and stick it in your arm for a couple weeks and have fun getting all that data.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Or I could just give you one of mine when you visit.
Ooh, we're gonna share needles. Provocative. Um,
God. I'm just waiting for the jokes on the episode when we talk about sleep, about sleeping together. I'm sure that's going to come up
Oh,
at some
that's
point
right.
too.
Yeah, now we're just stressing together. And actually, I got to tell you, Gavin, I feel a lot. I feel there is a mirth in me from this last half hour, and
Good.
I'm feeling a lot less stressed. And so it just goes to show that there's lots of ways to get you through the night. And
Yes.
and people a lot of times they overlook the simple things, which is just like breathing, drinking water, and sleeping. And man, you got those three things, and you're going to be a better person. Throw in a little love and music on the side, and oh my God, you're like 75% there. Um,
That's a
and
good lead into another dad joke I found just for you, Todd.
is that right?
What do you call a mindful wolf?
A mindful wolf? Uh, my dog?
A werewolf.
A were mindful wolf? A mindful
Mindful, aware, werewolf, a werewolf.
aware. Oh, oh, hello. If I had caffeine this morning, I probably would have gotten that 7 seconds faster. But oh,
That's all right.
werewolf. That's clever. Very nice. Very nice. Thanks, Devin. I think we have solved stress, occasional anxiety,
For
uh,
now.
for now. For now, relaxation, all good
Yes.
things. And
And of course, if you're like really stressed out and having problems, like reach out to friends, reach out to a professional, that's okay. But there's a lot that supplements can do to help with this too. So,
for sure, for sure. And that's why we are here at the Dose to make sure that you're formulating responsibly and marketing great quality products to bring more health to more people, because that's what we want here in the world, right?
so great, Todd.
Yeah. All right. Well, Devin, I think that's all for now for this week. And we'll catch you later here on the Dose Ingredient Podcast.
Bye.